hear you now.
Even though we're whispering, Tara, you can still hear us?
Hear you loud and clear.
Not a problem. I have strong lungs from those Bonner days, running cross country. All right. So it's 7 o'clock.
Do you want me to start with an introduction of you?
Why don't we give it a couple of minutes? We'll allow
Okay.
some other people to join in.
Yes.
We did the same thing on Saturday morning.
Perfect.
Okay. So we have 10 people so far. Okay, Tara, we have participants now. Is 2 minutes enough time, or?
Yeah, and I guess they just hop on for those who are running late or whatnot.
Okay.
So I would like to start the information session. One, I want to say hi. My name is Tara George Basil, class of 86 Prendy. I work in the advancement office here at the school. So thank you so much for joining us to learn more about the Pennsylvania Tax Credit Program. I want to thank Bill Touey, class of 77, for leading us through this. But it's an incredible program that can make a world of difference, and does make a world of difference for Bonner and Prendy. I mean, if you could guarantee the majority of your Pennsylvania taxes providing financial aid, why not? To me, it's a no-brainer. I do participate myself, so I can tell you how easy it is to do. But without I don't want to waste any time here. I want Bill to get right in and tell you guys and girls how easy it is to do. I am here with some data, Bill, some points of interest about how many students qualify, how many of our students are full need, all those questions you may have. But I want everyone to know that this goes directly to financial aid. It's not a scholarship in the sense of a test type of thing. It's qualified. So, Bill, take it away. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tara. Good evening, everyone. My name is Bill Touey. As Tara mentioned, I am Bonner class of 77. I grew up in Drexel Hill, and the eldest of 7, and all 7 of us attended Bonner and/or Prendy during the year. So I have very much a love for the school and would love to see it continue. And this program is the reason why these schools sorry, it's Bonner Prendy now, will be able to continue. It's making all the difference in the world. So there is a program called the Educational Incentive Tax Credit. The Educational Incentive Tax Credit started back in 2001. And at that point in time, it was really geared towards a tax credit for business owners and for businesses directly. Well, this program has evolved over the years and is now available to anyone who has income that is taxable within the state of Pennsylvania. Right? So if you have made money and you got to pay taxes to the governor, you can choose to have a lot of your funds, your tax dollars that you pay out, go to a school of your choice, and we would like it to be Bonner Prendy, of course. So the program itself, it provides scholarships to privately run schools. And it will make a huge difference to those schools at that point in time. So let's start going through some of this. So tax credits that change lives. What are we going to talk about today? All right. Well, Tara gave us the welcome. Thank you very much, Tara. The agenda. So we're going to have a little introduction. We're going to talk about how the program works, why this program is important and critical. We're going to give you 3 scenarios for determining how you may participate. We're going to give you a timeline as to how the funds flow, and then there'll be a summary and key points, and then a question and answer period afterwards. All right, so I'm going to be lazy and just read from the sheets there for everybody. I like to hear the sound of my own voice, so that helps. So by participating in this program, you can earn significant state tax credits while changing the lives of our students. Through the EITC and OSTC programs, your donation to Monsignor Bonner and Archbishop Prendergast can earn up to a 90% state tax credit. And that's what we're going to talk about. Hopefully, I'll be able to show you how simple this is to determine if you can participate and at what level you would like to participate. So there are organizations in Pennsylvania, like the Business Leaders Organized for Catholic Schools, commonly referred to as blocks, which has been around for a long time, and the Foundation for Catholic Education. That's a place where individuals and or businesses can send their donation to that third party, and you earmark what school you want it to go to. They will make sure that the money that you donate will go to those schools. So that is, these 2 organizations are a third party that makes this simple for those of us at Bonner Prendy to be able to show you how to make this thing go and smooth. And it literally takes 10 minutes. That's about it. It's all done via the internet, and you're going to get everything to sign electronically. It works very, very well. All right. So as I mentioned, it takes about 10 minutes of time to complete the application. 100% of the money you donate goes to Bonner and Prendy students, and that money is being used for, it's not being used for scholarship purposes, it's being used for financial need people, and it can only be used for education. It's not going to any other programs at Bonner and Prendy. And we have a number here that 86% of the students at Bonner are considered full need, which Tara, let me know if I got this right. So full need means they can qualify for this. If your income level, if a family's income level is at a certain point, they will qualify for financial assistance that can be ran through this program.
Yeah. So 87% of our families apply for financial aid. At this point, we would like to raise more money, obviously. 76% are full need. There's more than that who can qualify. You might not just be full need. So we're more at the 85% who even qualify. We have 8.2 million in total financial aid need from our BMP families.
That's quite a need.
That's quite a need.
So the next number on there is showing that $1.5 million was provided to Bonner Prendy through this program. So when I started looking at some of the budgets, it's rather amazing. So that half of the funds needed to keep the school going comes from this program. It is fantastic, an absolutely fantastic program. And that's not just Bonner, but our competitors at O'Hara and Carroll, they're going through the same thing. They are in need to keep these programs going, and it's working, and it's working very well. So why is it working? So what has happened is the state of Pennsylvania has agreed to this program, and each year has been increasing the amount of money that is available to be used so that Pennsylvania taxpayers can choose to where they see their money go. And why would the state of Pennsylvania do that? Right? Why would they give up tax dollars? No politician wants to give up tax dollars. But the flip side is, if they don't have this program and these schools close down, the students would end up in a public school system that cannot handle that huge inflow of students out of the Catholic education system and into the public school system. So they are providing us money to be able to keep the schools open. That's really what the bottom line is. All right, next. Can I participate? So what we've done here in our office is that we put together 3 scenarios to explain what is usually going on with somebody's taxes. Why do we do taxes? That's what we do at Touey and Company. So we're pretty familiar and comfortable with this. And my company's been around for over 50 years now. So we've done taxes and we understand it. So let's go into some scenarios. Here's scenario number 1. What I did here was I asked our group to put together some information. And in this particular scenario, it shows a family household. There will be taxpayer 1 and taxpayer 2. Somebody makes $100,000. Somebody else makes $75,000 on a W-2. If you're being paid via a W-2, you're getting a regular paycheck. That income is subject to Pennsylvania income taxes. All right. So if you're subject to Pennsylvania income taxes and you get to a certain level, you can participate in this program. So we took scenario 1 and we just had people who basically they don't have any interest, they don't have any dividends, nothing special, just their earnings from their job. If you look at that item in red, it says Pennsylvania taxable income, $175,000. That is the amount of the 2 W-2s added together. In the state of Pennsylvania, the tax rate is a flat 3.07%. So we'll just call it 3% for argument's sake. If you have $175,000 of wages and Pennsylvania taxable income, your tax bill to Pennsylvania is a little over $5,300. That is the amount that you're allowed to donate through this program, is the $5,300. Now, if you choose to make that donation, you're writing a check, right? And that money will end up, you're writing a check to either Blocks or the Foundation for Catholic Education. And you get a 90% credit against your Pennsylvania taxes. So that $4,800 of the $5,300 that you should be paying will be credited back to you by the state of Pennsylvania. And in this scenario, you get it then when you file your taxes the following year, you will be able to put that credit on your return and get a refund if that's the way that it's going to be handled. Now, there's a difference of 10%, right? Because you're only allowed to take a 90% credit. If you take that other 10%, that is a deduction on your federal income tax return, which then that means, so when you come down to the bottom line, the approximate out-of-pocket cost for you, the donor, is about $400. You made a contribution of $5,300 to the schools, and it's really only about $400 that's out of your pocket. I mean, to me, this is a no-brainer, and it's so simple to work with. All right. So again, it's people who you have 2 wages, you combine them together. Here's what our Pennsylvania taxable income is. This is what our tax is. And if you want to go back and look at your 2022 tax return, or if you did your 23 tax returns already, go to line 12 of your Pennsylvania return. That's where you'll see how much money you've paid in and where these calculations could be made. All right. All right, so now we're going to go to scenario 2. So this is a couple that was working scenario 1. Scenario 2, we've chosen to show retirees. Okay, so retirees will generally not have any wages. So you see here wages, taxpayer 1 and taxpayer 2, we have set at 0. The family unit has taxable interest of $1,500, has dividends of, what do I have there, $5,000. So they also have an IRA or a pension, and they have Social Security. You see 50,000 and 35,000 listed separately. Your pension in the state of Pennsylvania is not taxable, nor is your Social Security income taxable. So that $85,000 that you're living off of is not used to calculate your Pennsylvania taxable income. So you'll see here in red, we have Pennsylvania taxable income of $6,500, which is the $1,500 of interest and $5,000 of dividends. So therefore, your tax is $200, and you're really not able to participate in the program then, because the Foundation for Catholic Education has a $1,000 minimum before they'll work with anybody. You have to owe at least $1,000 in Pennsylvania taxes in order to participate in the program. Next, scenario 3. So here we took another scenario, and that is one where one of the taxpayers has wages. There is taxable interest, and then you see a line called pass-through income. That's basically if someone owns a business and they're either an LLC or an S corporation or a partnership, and that is the earnings from their business that passes through from the business to them personally for tax purposes. You'll see here the Pennsylvania taxable income is $200,000, and that is the wages, the taxable interest, and the pass-through income all get the pleasure of being taxed by the governor. All right, in that scenario, you have $200,000 of taxable income. On line 12 of your return, it would show that your tax amount is $6,140. You're allowed to donate then up to $6,140. 90% of that is $5,500. You get a credit on your return. You take another deduction on your federal return. You see the out-of-pocket cost is just a little over $450 in order to make over a $6,000 contribution to the school. Still a pretty good deal. All right, so here's a timeline of how things work. So, and I know it says here, it says you contact blocks and complete the application. Realistically, we want you to contact Tara. Tara, Pat Weldy put you on the mission for that. You're going to be the one getting the contact information for people.
Okay,
All right.
yes,
So we're going to have Tara, so people can contact Tara, and she can provide the application information that's necessary or the introduction so that you can move this along. So the way this works is that blocks and the foundation have to set up certain entities in order to be able to make this work. It's a tax, and I don't want to say maneuver because that sounds like it's shady. It's not shady at all. It's all been approved. They have to set up separate entities, special purpose entities, in order to make this work. And each entity's got a dollar amount limit on it. So we want you to get in, contribute, make that work, and away it goes. So then at tax season, the following year, you will get what's called a K1. from blocks or the Foundation for Catholic Education. A K-1, simply put, is a tax form. And on that tax form is the amount of credits that you get for your Pennsylvania taxes. That gets attached to your Pennsylvania tax return, and away it goes. I can tell you right now, it works simply and easily. I do it myself and for quite a few of our clients, and it's working. It works great. So tax season, you get a credit, you get a refund from the state, or if you are self-employed, you can minimize the amount of estimated payments you may be making if you are self-employed and you got to pay your own taxes. And then the following year, Bonner and Prendy gets the money from blocks and the foundation. Let me grab a little water here. It's late in the day. Okay. So, in summary, donors like you and organizations like Blocks and the Foundation for Catholic Education are critical for Catholic education to continue, which I think the people that are on this call think Catholic education is kind of important. I know that within my family, we have lots of educators, and we do really believe in the Catholic education system. With a little planning and a small contribution, your gift can be maximized. Although Blocks raises $70 million annually for families in the greater Philadelphia area, the need for tuition assistance is more than double that. So we really want to grow this program. It will be a life changer without a doubt. Okay, key points. We have here saying apply early. There can be situations if somebody waits until November of the year 2024 or December, and we contact either Blocks or the Foundation for Catholic Education, they might not have space available for your donation. They have to do some juggling of dollars and money from people. So we prefer that you apply early, get in. It will be able to happen then. All right. We would like to have you go to line 11 of your tax return for the state of Pennsylvania. You can see how much you'll be able to donate. The other important part is a K-1. That is the form you're going to get from either Blocks or the foundation to say, this is how much of a credit you get to take on your Pennsylvania tax return. Now, on that note, we didn't talk about this yet, but we did mention that it's a 90% credit. Now, that 90% credit is available if you agree to participate for 2 years. In other words, you're making your contribution at that point in time. If you only do it for 1 year, they give you a 75% credit. And some of this gets a little interesting because we've had situations where a business owner, as an example, has sold their business and they had a windfall profit. Let's say they owed $100,000 in Pennsylvania taxes. They want to give that. I've had a client do this last year. Would write a check, and Bonner Prendy got $100,000. But that person's not selling their business every year. That's a one-shot deal. Blocks was able to work with them, and they could backfill to make sure they got the 90% credit. And the other key point here, that this money is for scholarships. It is not going to athletic programs. I have a friend who coaches the girls' basketball team. And Tom Stewart says, Bill, can't you send money to me? I said, sorry, Tom, I'll do a separate check for you. But for this purpose, this has to go to scholarships. So with that, it is Q&A time. So I can ask everybody to unmute if you have questions. I am not great at this. My office manager left, so it's up to me. Figure that out. Oh, Laura's still on the call.
I think
Are there any
people,
questions?
So anyone who wants to ask a question can just unmute themselves to ask their question.
Okay. Thank you, Laura. I didn't realize you were listening.
Sure, you're welcome.
Don't we all have somebody that keeps us going properly? That's always nice to have.
I'm going to chime in. One of the questions I often get is the term scholarship. Scholarship. It's used, how do I want to say it? This program provides financial aid. And in some worlds, they call it scholarship. But these families do have to qualify for it. They have to qualify for it based on their family income, those type of things. So this is not money where a student sits for an exam, sits for a test, and qualifies academically. It actually is financial aid. The term scholarship is used by these blocks and Catholic Foundation as is used loosely. But that question comes up many times from alums asking, what do you mean by scholarship? How do they qualify for academically? So I want to make that clear. I use the term, I say it's financial aid. That's how we award it at Bonner and Prendy.
Yeah, so if I'm correct, Tara, it's not based upon somebody having these awesome grades and that's what gets them the money to go to Bonner or Prendy. It is basically a family qualification based on their income.
Correct. Yes.
So it makes it available to everyone.
Anyone who qualifies, you're absolutely right. Of which I think 87% of our, 86% of our students qualify for this type of financial aid.
Just a quick, Tom, if you could talk, this is Bob Jarrett. If you could just talk about when is the timing of sending in your money?
So the timing of sending in your money is once you have filled out an application, it's basically right around that point in time. However, I believe you could fill out an application now and not make a payment until say September. But for the purposes of these two organizations, Blocks and the Foundation for Catholic Education, just think of it as a process. It's easier for them to keep track of everything if your donation comes in shortly after you make the commitment.
Thank you.
And we have Tom Curran asked a question here. If you're going to use the Blocks option, you must make a commitment for 2 years at a minimum of $5,000 per year. Is that correct? Tom, that is absolutely correct. So Blocks has a $5,000 minimum before they will work with you. That is why we, in our example, used an example of $175,000. So it's really at $165,000 Pennsylvania taxable income. That's when a taxing unit, a family, would owe $5,000 or more.
Understood. It's Tom Curran. I guess the question is for some of us like me looking to transition to retirement. So next year the income situation will be dramatically different. So you have to look at what it would be in year 2, because it's if I retire at the end of this year, it may not be feasible to do work with Blocks given projected income for next year.
No, but it might be plausible to work with Foundation for Catholic Education, which has a $1,000 minimum.
Right.
And you can do it for 1 year, correct, Bill? It's just you get a 75% tax credit versus a 90.
Tara, you are absolutely correct. You do not get as big a credit, but you still get a significant credit. It's a nice credit.
Right. No, I understand. So the difference to Bonner and Prendy of the Blocks versus Foundation for Catholic Education is there's no difference. It's just the minimum amount that you would make a commitment for.
That is correct.
Okay, and it's 2 years for both programs or both entities.
Yes.
to qualify for
Tara
the
said yes
90%.
on that. I personally have not worked with the Foundation for Catholic Education. My donations have been going through blocks, so I can confidently say how they are working. But
I go
believe,
through the Foundation for Catholic Education. Yep.
yes,
It works exact same way. Yep.
exactly. Okay, great.
I have a question here that came to me via email. For the retiree with no W-2 income, but with sizable capital gains and dividend income that is taxable. Does that fall under those taxable dividends / pass-through income?
Yeah, yes, it does, Tara. So again, when we were going through the scenarios, the donor wants to go look at their recent Pennsylvania taxable tax returns. And you can look at line 11, which will show how much of their income is taxable in the state of Pennsylvania. And line 12 will give you the exact dollar amount of that tax.
Perfect.
Yeah, this is Joe Rink.
Hi,
Can
Joe.
I just clarify? Now you're saying if your Pennsylvania taxable income is between $1,000 and $5,000. Now your Pennsylvania tax is between $1,000 and $5,000. Then you can only go to blocks.
You can only go to the other organization, which is the Foundation
All right, the
for
Foundation.
Catholic Education.
Okay, you go through the Foundation for Catholic Education. Okay,
Yes.
that was so. All right, and is there any difference other than that? I mean, is the application at all the same between both organizations?
They're very similar. I just went to a presentation with the Foundation for Catholic Education. There's a gentleman by the name of Kevin Kelly who runs it, and he makes it very simple. He does have an application, and there's a commitment form, things of that nature. He asked for it, but it works pretty well.
He's a Bonner alum as well.
Yes, he
Okay.
is.
My other question is on the timing of doing this. Now, because of the taxable income I have, I go on an extension every year, and my return does not get filed until September.
No,
Now, how does that work? I mean, how does that where does that put me as to when I can do this?
so right now we are in the year 2024.
Right.
So you could make a donation during the year 2024, and that would apply to the calculation of your 2024 taxes.
Okay.
You would make a contribution during 2024, and by March of 2025, you would get a K-1 that can be used and be attached to your Pennsylvania personal tax return. And
Well,
get
what
the
year?
24.
for the year, it's for the year 24, but the K-1 doesn't come out until after the year 2024 has ended.
Well, yeah, but I file my return in September.
So
Of
then
this
you
year.
are on extent. Well, then you have 6 months to file your return from the time you get the K-1.
You're still just
Okay.
doing this for 23, you know.
Yeah, but I as soon as I get the K-1s, I file my returns.
Okay, great. So this K-1 will be given to you in a timely fashion. Am I answering your question?
Well, yeah, you're answering it, but I mean, you say it would give it to me in a timely fashion. I mean, when I go on extension, I'm under the understanding I have to file by October 15th.
That is correct.
All right.
That is correct. So, but you have to have your money paid in and everything else with your
Right.
extension by April 15th.
I know. Go ahead. we're talking 2024 now. Am I
Yes,
gonna
we
be
are.
able to do anything for 2024 is my question, I guess.
Only 2024. We cannot go backwards to 2023.
No, I know, but all right.
Well, wouldn't that count for if he had to make payments? That would come off as a credit to any tax that he was due. So if you had to make any,
Well, wait, all my taxes are paid by estimates
okay,
in
so
2023. When I file my 2023, I'm working on 2023 is what I'm
Right.
talking.
for
Now, all my
2024,
taxes, all my Pennsylvania income tax was paid by estimates in 2023.
Yes. So
All right.
what you would be able to do is lower your estimated payments by the amount of which the credit you're going to get from
All
one of
right.
these two organizations.
So then with the return I'm working on now, which will be filed for 2023, I'm sort of out of luck because I paid all my taxes.
Right.
All right.
You-
Now, so to work towards 2025, do I do anything now?
Well, you're going to
Do I
work
apply
for
to, do I apply to
2024.
do I apply to the foundation or do I have to, can you only do that when you make the contribution?
No, you could apply, and hopefully shortly thereafter you make a contribution. And for you, the best part is you won't have a negative impact on your cash flow because you'd be able to lower your estimated payments to
Right.
the state of
All right.
Pennsylvania.
So we're talking about 2024 then.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. And the return I would file in 2025.
Correct.
So I can go ahead and start working on that, but nothing's going to affect the return for 2023.
Nothing's going to affect 2023.
Gotcha. Okay, now I got it. Now I got it.
Good.
All right, thank you.
You got it. My pleasure.
And I wait a minute. So I start working with the foundation now?
You start working
Or
with
start
Tara.
working with Tara. Start working with Tara now.
We'll work with
Yes.
Tara. If you see on the page that's up right now, we
Yes, I
have
see it.
Tara's email
Yep.
address and
Got
phone
that.
number.
Got that.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
My pleasure. So, we had this presentation on Saturday morning also, and Dr. John Cook, president, was there. Tell your friends about it is what he was emphasizing. We're trying to get the word out about this program, and it is amazing that it's not being consistently presented. So if somebody's doing their own taxes, they're not necessarily going to hear about this. If you go to a professional, they may tell you about it. I personally make sure our clients are aware of this. Now, they're giving money to O'Hara and Carroll and other schools, but that's fine. Yeah, I mean, we're all in this together anyhow. So, please go out and tell your friends about this program and how wonderful it is that we take the money directly from the politicians and we put our tax dollars to where we think it should be used most. It's great. Are there any other questions or comments?
I
All
think,
right.
I think we might have covered.
I try to keep it as simple as possible. That's my mission in life, using the proverbial KISS method. And it does not have to be difficult. Just look at line 11 of your tax return. Contact Tara. She'll set you up with one of the two groups.
Yes.
And away we go.
Yes. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone on this phone call, and please reach out to me, and we'll get you moving on it. If you have more questions, I think it's great. I just want to give you basic things: tuition and fees. for Bonner and Prendy is, $10,610. So this will really help the families. And just like when you were here, 78% or 80% of our students are from Delaware County. It's all of us. So I look forward to meeting everyone.
Beautiful.
Tara and Bill, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for attending and listening to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna
Thank
check
you.
out.